is Gerry Visca, the publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the second edition of the Top 50 Relationship Marketing Tips. We are live with Shannon Ciaramellano from Michigan. Shannon, welcome. Did I say that right?
You said it perfect. Actually, you made me sound a little bit sexier, so I love it. Thank you so much for having me on the call.
Oh, Shannon, we're so excited about your energy in this profile and what you're doing for people around you and how you're inspiring your team. You've certainly inspired me in directing the development of your profile. So just before we get into the first question, Shannon, I'm really excited about this interview. I want to share a quote from your profile with listeners, and it goes like this: "The true value that we receive from building any relationship is trust." And I love that because throughout your profile, you really resonate this feeling of trust. So, Shannon, how has your journey led you to relationship marketing?
Well, kind of interesting because I actually started into relationship marketing when I was about 21. And I started because I actually had children at a young age, and I didn't have a chance to finish college. And to me, I didn't feel like I was qualified for a job, if you will. And I started doing this, and I saw this big dream of, like, what could happen. I've always had this fairy tale kind of view of life that I could have anything I want, but I thought at that point it was just a fairy tale. Mm-hmm. And, fast forward, I didn't have much success. Actually, I had zero success, and people thought I was crazy. I tried quite a few things. I never really gave up. I just kept on to the next. And about 3 years ago, it got presented to me again, and it was at a different point in my life. At this point, I had 5 children, and my past, I had already foreclosed on 2 homes. I had filed bankruptcy twice. I wasn't what you would call a successful person, and I got a video about the company I'm with now, Nerium, and I watched it, and I thought, oh, my gosh, good God, I'm not doing that again. And so I watched it, but I kept watching it, and that's the funny part. And it was at that point, it was December 17th, and I remember it so well because at that point I had not bought any of my 5 children a Christmas gift. And I also was a few months behind in my home. And my husband and I looked at each other, and I thought, if I don't do this, where are we going to be in a year? Much less, where are we going to be in 6 months? So we decided to really get started. We actually borrowed the money because I still had that little belief that, what if? Why not me? That was where I was living at that point. And I started really slow, and I didn't have a lot of self-confidence. I'd been beaten down most of my life, and I thought, this has to be my chance, right? This has to be put in front of me for a reason. And we really got started, and I was not very good. I was not very good at all. And I just thought, if there's a system, I'm going to follow it. And for the first time in my life, Gerry, it was the first time I can honestly tell you that I didn't quit on myself. It's the first time I ever stuck with something. And within a year's time, I was having major success, and major success without the support of my family, without the support of my close friends, because they had already heard enough. It wasn't that they didn't love me. It was that, oh, what are you doing now kind of thing. So I went out there, and I just really started believing again. And now I know that whole fairy tale, it's really not a fairy tale at all. Those are just kind of conditions we make up in our mind that, oh, if this happens, then I can do it. If I have this, then I'll be okay. And I realized it was just a decision. It wasn't a fairy tale at all. I got to write it.
I love that, Shannon. I love how you're such an inspiration, a real inspiration to families. And I mean, you inspire me the more and more that I listen to you, and I love your perseverance, and I love how you stuck with something and how you talk about being a big dreamer. I just think that's fantastic. There's another quote I want to share with listeners. I love how you say this: I choose to love people exactly where they're at. So I love that. Shannon, what gets you leaping out of bed every morning? You have this beautiful, inspiring energy. What gets you rocking out of bed?
I think in the last couple of years, being able to love myself again has been a really, really big obstacle that I had to get through. And getting out of bed every morning is because I love the fact that I can get out of bed every morning. Almost 2 years ago, my best friend, also my brother, a year younger than I, and he had brain cancer for 14 years. And that man had a beautiful wife, two adorable daughters. He would get out of bed every single day, even if he had chemotherapy, radiation, no matter what it was, he would go to work, a job. He was just over broke, just like J.O.B., okay, but he did it because he had to survive that way. That's how he took care of his family. And, you know, it was March 14th, or I'm sorry, not March, it was May 14th of 2014 that my brother passed away. And it was probably the most difficult thing that I ever experienced, because I realized all this time, I never truly appreciated what it was like to live and have just that blessing, just to live every day. And I think too many of us take it. We think that we all think our problems are the biggest problems, and we carry them like huge weights on our shoulders. And it was that moment that I realized I get that chance to get up every day. And now I have an opportunity that I don't have to go in and work for someone else. I get to work for myself. I get to help people every single day. But our own breath that we take, we sometimes get out of bed like it's just, oh, that's normal. It's not normal, because he didn't take that breath that day. He didn't take it. And I know now that it's my responsibility, it's my obligation, and it's something that it's a passion in me that I can't describe. And I don't want to know. I just know that I have it and that I can move forward every day. It gets me out of bed. There's days I have bad days. Everyone has bad days. The difference is I brush it off and I move on. And I don't think that we have any other option in life but to really count it as a blessing. And it shouldn't take losing someone to value what you have. Unfortunately, sometimes it does.
I love that you share that. You know, Shannon, you're so extraordinary. You know, your passion for life, and I really love how you've dedicated, you know, the energy of your platform, this profile, to your brother Tommy. And first of all, I love that you're the 14th profile, and you know, we've put you on pages 46 and 47. I've tried to get as many fours in there as possible. I just
his lucky number 14.
You know, and 14th profile. I just think it's incredible that, you know, that your words and your energy are just, you know, they're really poured into these pages. Shannon, I want to move into the bigger picture. You know, you've been through a lot. You've certainly been through a lot of change. You know, you've used what most people would call failure as a catalyst for your success, and I'm really inspired how you're pouring that back into your team. Going forward, what is the bigger picture of your life, Shannon?
The bigger picture, it's great that you asked that, because I've been spending a lot of time thinking about it, and I think we all have a gift, and it's all different, and it's really it would be a horrible thing to compare your gift to somebody else's, because they're so different in every way. And, you know, if you start comparing yourself to everyone else, you start feeling like you're not good enough, you're not worthy. And I've been there. I've been in that trap. And I finally found something with being able to talk to people more, kind of getting out of my comfort zone and talking to people. I really decided that I want to be able to kind of get to the heart of the matter. I know it sounds cliche, but really I have a gift to be able to say what's on my heart. I can translate my feelings into words very easily, and not everyone has that gift, and it's okay. But I know it's my purpose to get out there and be able to talk to everyone, no matter what company they're with, no matter where they are in life, because I'm going to love them where they're at, because someone loved me where I was at. And I wouldn't be here today if someone didn't offer me this. I wouldn't be here today if someone didn't believe in me. So if I can get out there and talk to as many people, I mean, one day I want to be on that big, huge stage where there's thousands and thousands of people, where I know when I leave there that I am talking directly to someone, where I'm going to change their life, where they're going to relate to a story. I don't want them to see someone up there and say, oh, you know, they're just successful. Oh, they've made it. Oh, of course it happens to them because of the way they look, because of the way they dress. You know, for me, it's not about all the stars. It's not about the stars beyond your title or if you're a star in general. It's really about the scars that you have. What did you come through? Maybe you're not at the very top of something, but what have you overcome? I mean, any level that you get to, you're overcoming something. It's the scars that move you forward. And if I can get out there and help people realize that their scars create the stars later, how many people is that going to touch? I mean, it helped me, and I know that it's my purpose. There is no other reason why I'm here today. It's to find, you're the why guy, right? And I feel like that's where I am. I'm about why 365. Why 365. Every single day a why. And if you add that 3, 6, and 5 together, it's 14. That is where my power comes from. That's where I know beyond a doubt I'm supposed to be. And I want to meet as many people as I can. I want to hear as many stories as I can that I can. I want to learn from them. I want to be able to have them learn from my stories. And I'm excited about it. I have been thinking about it actually every day, all day. And that's all I want to do with my life. That's it right there.
It's amazing. It feels good to be you, Shannon. I like that you brought up the why guy. You know, it's first of all, I define the why as the world helped by you, WHY. And, you know, the world's helped by you when you're living really a simple equation, passion plus purpose equals outcome. And I see so much passion in you, and I see a determined purpose, and, you know, I see an outcome that's changing lives. Shannon, I want to ask you, you know, what would your message be to families? You know, families that are maybe looking for something right now, they're disconnected, they're struggling, and, you know, this may be an opportunity for them. What would your message to them be?
To all the families out there, I think that I would really love just to tell them that, you know, a lot of times we define ourselves by how we grew up, by our circumstances, by our beliefs. We limit ourselves with conditions that we set for ourselves. And for the families out there, it's about really pulling together. And I think it's more important for people to know it's not always about the family that you just have by blood. It's about the family you meet along the way, the family that's there for you when no one else is. You know, I have my family. I have my blood relatives. You know, I have my children who are the world to me. 18 all the way down to 9, and they're all so different. And if I can just show them by example what they can do and what they can be, that there are no limitations, that they can be them and they don't have to strive to be somebody else, that's what I would really tell everyone, because people thought I was a failure. They thought I'd never get back up. You know, my family looked at me. I went through I'll be very honest with you, Gerry. I went through a really bad divorce. You know, in my late 20s, I had 4 children. I was a single mom of 4 children, and it wasn't easy. And people felt bad for me. And instead of lifting me up, they loved the pity party. You know, people love the misery. Misery loves company, but successful people will do it on their own. You know, people will follow. And if you can just support someone, if you could just raise someone up a little bit, whether it's your kids, your spouse, if it's your friends, they're your family too. So that's what I would just say is treat everyone like family, and then we're never alone.
That's fantastic, Shannon. Shannon, the last question I want to ask you. Before I do that, there's another quote that you share, which is one of my favorites, and it's, you know, sharing our own imperfect paths show humility and have the potential to truly impact so many lives. You know, that's something about you that I really admire. It's this, you know, this appreciation of everyone's imperfection as being perfect. And, you know, I'm inspired by your journey. I'm inspired by the fact that you're a mom to 5 amazing children. Shannon, my last question for listeners, and really it's more for you. Is what would you want your family to say about you? How did Shannon live her life?
Oh, you're gonna make me cry. You know, there's been success has come with a price, and it's come with a price of some time. And there's been time that I had to spend away building something for them, a future for them that they may not see right now, but they'll appreciate later. And I hope and I pray that my kids, when they look at me, they see someone who loved people unconditionally, who supported them, but who also worked really hard. I want them to know that it doesn't come easy, and there is a price for everything, but that I was always there, that I loved them beyond anything. And I hope really just to have the respect of your children. I think that a lot of people lack that nowadays. I've never tried to be their best friend. I always try to be their mom. And I hope they see me and they think of me with love. And, oh, my goodness, I want them to just, I can't even put into words. There's nothing I don't want for my children. And I wish I could express that more, and I think you're almost bringing it out of me. I wish I could tell them more how much I love them. I don't know if you could tell your kids that enough. Mm-hmm. And I think you're making me feel right now, actually, that I shouldn't spend a moment, there shouldn't be a day where I don't tell them, because I want them to feel it from me so that they always have that with them. They can look back at me and say, my mom loves me every single day. She loved me exactly where I was at. And your kids don't always feel that, right? Because sometimes, you know, the first word that comes out of your mouth is no, and you could do that better and try again. But I hope that they know at the end of the day that I loved them for who they were and right where they were at for every single moment.
Beautiful. Shannon, you're an inspiration for the world. Pages 46, 47, I'm so inspired. And just want to thank you so much, Shannon, for being a part of this inspired platform. On behalf of Defyeneurs, we just want to wish you the most defined year of success. Shannon Ciaramellano of Michigan, thank you so much for being a part of Defyeneurs.
Thank you so much, Gerry. Thank you for everything. Good luck, everyone.